happen. So here it is. I'm going to start the recording, which I just did.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to pretend that I don't know that I've started the recording yet. So I'm going to tell you right now that I'm going to introduce you like we just started talking, even though we were just talking before I started pressing record.
Yeah.
But no one who's watching this is going to know the difference.
Yeah.
Except that they are, because I'm going to leave this part in. So Simona Ohlsson of Vokonis, thank you so much for talking with me today, for taking some time out.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. Is that Tony Iommi back there? What's going on in the back?
Oh yeah, it is. It's Tony Iommi, and it's a framed picture of Tony Iommi and David Bowie.
Ah, legit. Okay. I couldn't see Bowie. I could see Tony.
Yeah. So it's like Bowie, he's like getting ready for a show. He's like putting his comb through his hair, and Tony Iommi is sitting in some sort of mansion reading a newspaper, I think, or a book.
As he
in
would.
a sweater.
Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously. It's very, very homey. Very homebody Tony Iommi. So Vokonis has a record coming out next year. You have an EP coming out. Actually, something else I wanted to talk to you about. This post, this interview, I got hit up. I got hit up the other day about doing a premiere from your EP.
Yeah.
And I said yes. Are you cool with running this interview at the same time as that?
Do what you want to do with it, I think.
All right. Then I'm going to
leave it to you. Yeah.
Okay. I'll do my best. I will try not to fuck it up. But I make no promises.
What are you? Is that a water?
Yes.
Like a gallon of water.
It is a gallon. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in radical hydration.
Yeah.
I believe
good.
Very strongly.
It's very hard for me to grasp around the measurement of freedom units, but a gallon that looks like a gallon.
They are so playfully ridiculous. Just the thought that 300, 400 years later, we're using a king's foot as a measurement.
We do.
It's very silly.
You do.
I do. Yeah, daily. So, Simona, we are here to talk. You hit me up. You want to talk about your experience as a trans woman, your experience as a trans woman in the heavy underground. And there's so much. You and I were talking off camera. There are so many sort of layers to anyone's experience of anything, but we're here to talk about your experience of this, of course. So please, just to sort of begin, give me sort of a background on your experience of gender, your experience of yourself, and how you came to be where you are.
Yeah. So I think this all started way back when I was a kid, but I didn't really know how to form all of these opinions because information was very limited where I grew up. It was very scarce. Like I grew up in a very rural fishing town on a small island outside of Gothenburg. So it wasn't until my late 20s when I actually got proper information about like transgenderism and what like entails into LGBTQIA plus. I had no idea more than like, yeah, we support, we stand, but I had no actual grasp of what it meant until my late 20s. So for me, this was something that I kind of engaged with this during the pandemic because I didn't have to uphold any sort of facade or like, why do I have all these attributes that I'm not comfortable with, that I don't like? When I see myself in the mirror and I don't like what I see stare back, like I avoid mirrors. I avoid looking at my body and all of that. So it came out of that. Before I was.
Tell me about that. How long?
Yeah, well,
how long was that your experience?
I think I've always felt that, but
It's
I
amazing.
could never form like, why did I feel that? Um, is this normal? Is this how it's supposed to feel?
Hmm.
Are you supposed to like your body?
Right.
I Even though I kind of thought this was me being kind of a skinny child, never been being able to put on muscle,
I don't. Okay. Okay.
like
You were speaking
not
literally.
being.
I thought you were talking in an idiom that I just didn't know. I'm
No, no,
sorry.
no, 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 no.
Okay.
I was a very skinny child. I could never put on any weight or any form of muscle.
Okay.
I was like, so is this just me not living up to a male stereotype, not being able to live up to that stereotype?
Hmm.
And I tried like working out and doing all of that, but after like 6 months at the gym, I was like, oh my God, this feels horrible. Feels even worse
Yeah.
somehow. So, but I could never form why. It felt weird. And it got to a part where I felt like I don't want to live anymore.
Hmm.
Um, uh, but then I got all of this information about maybe you are transgender, or maybe connect the dots, or like, because I've had all of these thoughts. Well, if I were a woman, I probably wouldn't feel so bad all the time.
Okay.
Like I felt that my entire life, but I only in like spurts. So I could never like, because I always felt like this is impossible. This is not attainable.
Right.
So I think I should that down, quieted that down, put it
Hmm.
in the back of my mind. Like, yeah, let's just keep on keeping on.
Right. Until you couldn't.
Yeah, exactly. Until I couldn't, until I was at the end of the rope. I
I,
was literally thinking about ending it all.
hmm.
I had this grand plan of like, well, maybe if I do this and then I'm done and then I can walk away, like knowing I did something, I'll leave something to the world, to my family,
Hmm.
loved ones, etc. It got very dark, but it made total sense to me.
That's the worst part about it. Yeah. I,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I am no longer anywhere near that place, which is
Glad to hear it.
awesome.
Yeah. I'm
I
very glad to hear
love,
that.
yeah,
Yes.
I love living. I love what I have going on around me, my friends, my family. I'm having a very good life now. Just make that sure. Otherwise, it could have been very like worrying,
Tell
but
me
it was
about.
very bad.
Yeah. Tell me about your family. I mean, supportive.
Well,
I assume since you mentioned them in a positive
yeah,
context.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I have very supportive grandparents on both my father and mother's side. I have a great father, although he struggles a ton with pronouns and names, but you can really tell there's love there. There's nothing other than love, and that
He's making the
goes a
effort.
long way.
I hope he's making the effort.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
There
of
you
course
go.
he does. Yeah,
That's good.
yeah, but you can tell he kind of struggles with it. He's known me for like almost 30 years as something else, and I
Hmm.
have to give him grace in that period for him
Right.
to, because I've had these thoughts and this information a whole lot longer.
Right.
He does not have any like resources to figure all of this out.
Right. You also have your own lifetime framing of your experience, right? I mean,
Yeah,
you have the
for
way
sure.
you've thought about things your entire life, and
Yeah.
you know, I didn't really
At this,
realize until I became a parent how little you actually know someone else.
yeah. Uh,
So
at the same time, I want to, because I know this experience is mine and not like others. So I don't want to excuse ignorant people or parents who does not accept
no,
this, but this is just my personal
of
experience.
course, of course.
Among that, I have great friends. I've gotten to know several other people who are also transgender, um, that I love dearly, that have, like, we have our backs in all of this. Hedvig, who started in our band, is also a trans woman,
Hmm.
which is fucking amazing. Like, we can go up on stage together. in this.
It's great.
Yeah, it really is. um, so I think, along with a great support system around me, great friends, and I have a very loving family who does their best with this.
Hmm.
It makes me feel like I really have to go keep pushing on with all of this.
That's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, I got to be honest with you. When you asked me to do this interview, I was like, oh man, I hope she's all right.
Yeah.
You know, I was hoping it would be uh, a happy story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Certainly you've been through it, right? You've been through it your whole
Yeah.
life. I understand that. And I don't understand that, but I
Yeah.
certainly knows how it feels to be wrong in your body forever. I get that. I get
Yeah.
that. But I was very hopeful
That
that
is also a thing that I want to be able to like uplift something positive, because a lot of queer stories are
yeah.
ending on a bad note, and that is not without its reason, but it is also important to uplift where things can go good and where things can go even better.
It's beautiful, and I cannot tell you how encouraging I find that, especially noting the support of your family. We were talking before, my daughter
Yeah.
this summer, she transitioned, and she's a kid. I mean, she's a kid,
Yeah.
a kid. She's in kindergarten. She's a kid.
Yeah.
So it has been an adventure,
Yeah.
and it's the most intense experience I've ever been a part of. I would say that.
Yeah.
And you know, and especially being in the US, I fear for her daily.
The rhetoric is rough. From
Yeah.
what I can like, from what I see, I follow, as you might imagine, a lot of queer outlets from all around the world, and unfortunately, the US seems very like hell-bent on trying to kind of eradicate this.
Yeah, there's a very malevolent sort of
Yeah.
presence in American culture that is actively working against this. Um, Cynically, because it doesn't actually care, but that doesn't seem to make a difference when people's lives are on the line. So,
Yeah.
um,
That is the thing about it, that I kind of, because at my university, they said everything that happens culturally in America comes to Sweden 10 years later. So I'm kind
mm,
of worrying a lot about the rhetoric that might happen here in due time. It's already kind of nearing a temperature I don't like with
mm,
this.
mm,
So at the same time, I just have to focus on me doing my stuff, trying to uh, like take a spot in the spotlight and show you can be happy. You
mm.
don't have to. It is possible. You can feel good. You can be loved. You can be respected.
Seems like basic human dignities. Yes, yes,
Yeah, yeah,
yes.
exactly. Yeah,
Yes. This is
you. Yeah,
day one shit that shouldn't be quite so hard to come by, I feel like.
yeah. It is though. It is very hard to come by. I had my first show that I did when I first like came out, and we were playing in Stockholm.
And that was
There
like a
were
couple years ago
two.
now, right? It was like 2021.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
And these guys came up to me after the show. And they were like, "Yeah, we're from the US. We traveled here to like see your show." And I was like, "Oh man, that's awesome! That's so cool to make the trip to see us in Stockholm from the US." And they were like, "Oh yeah, can we take a picture and all of that?" And I was, "Yeah, yeah, sure, no problem." And then we started like, "Oh, so where do you live?" Like, blah blah blah. Blah. Oh yeah, yeah, this country is going to shit. Blah blah blah. Trump. And I
Mm,
was like, "Oh no, oh
yeah, it's
no, this."
unfortunate.
I feel kind of scared now, or like bad now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I could never like kind of trust the um I don't know how open I should be about all of this, but conservatives, especially in the US, are very conservative, even regarding like this is something that is acceptable within the right in Sweden, like the conservatives in Sweden.
Hmm.
Like I think the American conservatives don't really like transgender people at all.
American conservatism is deeply rooted in puritanicalism and tied into the religious right. It's all
Yeah,
it's all money. It's all if you
yeah,
follow money, it's all the same like three shitheads starting a culture war. It's
yeah,
they represent less people than they tell you they represent, but they do represent some people. We're not short on assholes in this country, as I told you.
yeah,
You know, it's scary shit.
yeah.
Oh,
And that was like the first time because when I am outside, I feel the same. I feel like stressed, like looking over my shoulder. Is there going to be someone, looking weird at me?
yeah.
All of that stuff. Now I am passing a lot better than I did before, which
Hmm.
is not something that matters, but it makes me feel less afraid of daily life.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to pass um, to to feel secure and safe,
Right. Right.
but it certainly helps in my general everyday life.
Right.
um, I didn't feel like that then because I had just recently came out.
Right.
I think I was just starting my meds or something. I can't really remember.
Hmm.
Um, but when I am at my show, I feel kind of in control. Like I can go up to security and say, I don't feel comfortable with these people. Can you please separate them from me or whatever?
Yeah. Yep.
My safety is atop of everything else at my show. But it's not the same like in everyday life, unfortunately.
It's true. So what do you
Yeah,
do? What do you do?
yeah, what I do.
What do you do?
It is very stressful to feel like that. Because I am there's been this massive, I'm sure you're very aware of this debate with like J.K. Rowling, and it's flown over people's head in Sweden
Yeah.
extremely because here she's just, the famous Harry Potter writer,
Right.
author.
Right.
People don't really know what she said, just like, yeah, she's being hunted, witch trial or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
The old witch hunt. Yeah.
yeah, and all of her points that she tries to make is stuff that I would never do because I am scared. I would never go into the I would never like go to a gym or like a swimming pool
Mm. Hmm.
because I don't want to occupy the dressing room because I don't feel safe there,
Yeah.
which is like the biggest. That makes me like, it doesn't make me furious, but it makes me kind of
Should.
drained. Like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, I like
You're right.
I can
You're
see
right though.
how,
You're right though.
yeah,
You're absolutely right. Because after a while, how how angry can you get? Right? How
yeah,
frustrated can you be omnidirectionally, right? How frustrated can you be with
yeah,
everything? After a while, you're absolutely right. It gets exhausting. You wear
yeah. It
yourself
gets
out. You wear
exhausting.
yourself out.
Like
100%. Yes.
it's like you don't even try to understand how we feel. I would be so happy to have like a third dressing room where people are welcome, that are queer coded or whatever you want to say,
Right.
because I would not want to go into a dressing room and someone would start, feeling uncomfortable just because of my mere presence. I don't fit in either dressing room.
Right.
If you go by the like typical,
The binary.
yeah, the binary, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of shitty. It's very
Yes.
much beside the point, but
No, it's not. It's not besides the point. It's your fucking life.
yeah, it is my life. It is my everyday life. It is not really connected to the music more than it makes me feel like shit sometimes.
Okay. Yeah.
And I really try to do like uplifting stories in the music, like celebratory pieces with the music of the things that I found joyful or fun. I did handle some more depressing stuff, of course, but there's a lot of good in there, which I love. Like I've not been able to do that before.
Mhm. No,
Like
that's
it's always been this like existential crisis lyrics that me and Jonte did together.
not so much now.
No, I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say so. It's way more like we've had a lot of loss, unfortunately, like
Hmm.
not just me. I had to say goodbye to two of my cats,
Mm.
like this past half year, these past 6 months, they had to, that was very hard, extremely hard. They had
Yeah.
to be put down. That was fucking super rough.
Yeah.
Sven, the drummer, his father passed away this winter.
Mm.
Um, it's been a lot, just
Yeah.
to keep it short. So I really tried to put that in there, but also like celebrate what we have, celebrate life, and how we can put their memories forward, carry that with us.
Hmm.
Because loss is tough. It's super tough.
It's the worst thing in the world that happens to everybody.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to express that there is a way forward through that, even though it fucking sucks.
Okay. So take that into the music for me.
Well, we did this song, and the EP is called "Exist Within Light," which is
Hmm.
kind of like, "Fuck you, I'm here." Like I don't really, I will be here. I will occupy this space, whether you like it or not.
Hmm.
I am not going to go away. I won't, end my life because I hate myself. I am
Right.
going to be here, and I will be happy, and I will be joyful, and I have great friends, and whatever. It's for me, it's a happy song. It's like a celebration of what I've learned since I came out and the friends I've made. Um, the possibility to be happy. It's basically that, um, which is totally new for me.
Oh my God. Just that sentence, right? It's the
Yeah.
possibility to be happy, which is completely is something I've never encountered before.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay. That's so hilariously sad.
Yeah, it is.
But happy too,
Yeah.
right? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So good. So good for you. Oh my
But that's
God.
also like you have to learn to laugh about stuff also.
Yes.
Like this fucking sucks. I have to laugh about it
Yes. Yes,
just to make it through.
there is no other way to go. Um, there are three songs on the EP, Exist Within
Yeah.
Light. I don't know which one I'm premiering. No, I don't.
I don't know. The single is Houndstooth,
Okay, the first track.
the first track.
Okay.
The rest is I think everything else coming with the EP. I don't really know
There's
how
Revengeful.
we're
I have Houndstooth,
yeah.
Revengeful, and Exist Within Light.
Yeah, so I think he wants you to premiere the EP as well.
The full
I don't
thing.
really know. I think so.
Oh
If he
yeah,
sent you the whole thing.
you sent me the whole thing.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I just sent you so you could listen.
Well, I
I just wanted
listened.
your sentiment. No, that was I sent you
No,
the
I
whole
didn't.
album too.
I know. I listened to it.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah, that was just I wanted some input from someone I trusted.
Well, thank you
Like
very much for that.
what do you think? Because I know it's a long ways off from releasing, and I don't know, I don't feel kind of the worst thing about this, and I'm kind of speaking off the record here.
Do you want me to stop the recording?
Oh no, you can cut that part out and we can take that later.
So
I am not
yes.
off the record.
So not off the
Yeah,
record. So on the
yeah,
record. Okay.
off the record. Off the record.
Off the record, on the record.
Yeah,
I'll do my best. Okay.
off the record.
Off the record. Here it comes.
Yeah,
I think we're back.
yeah. We had some technical difficulties.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. We were talking about secret shit, and it was awesome, and everyone missed out.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. So okay. You have the EP, you have the album, both coming out. Great things. Super progressive sound. Very cool. Doing cool stuff. This song goes and this song goes. It's very cool. There's a lot going on. When was the last record? It's like
I think it was 20.
20?
I think it was 21. We did the record called Odyssey. I think it was 21.
Right. Okay. So
and it was like the COVID album release, which was weird.
Was it? Yeah, of course it was. Everything was weird.
Yeah, it was fucking weird.
Right?
It didn't feel like we actually released that record.
I've heard
It
that
felt
from a
like-
couple people. It's like
Yeah.
you can't. I've heard from a couple bands who couldn't decide whether to do another record. It's like, should we just move on, or should we go
Yeah.
tour for a year for a record that now they put out 2 years ago? It's a weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a fucking plague. It was weird.
Yeah, absolutely.
But so tell me about putting all this new stuff together.
Yeah, it was very fun because I feel like because this is going to be, trying to word this as I go. The first record and the second record, I can't really vibe with it anymore because it truly felt like I was a different person, which I kind of was, to be fair. So we probably are not going to play those albums anymore because it just feels like such a weird thing to be playing and doing the stuff that I did not. I remember looking back at the time, I was like, I was fucking miserable back then. I was miserable. And then we actually started finding our sound on the 2019 record, Grasping Time, which I like the songs. I don't like the production. We kind of fumbled the bag. Odyssey is a great record. I love Odyssey. That's a great fucking record.
So by your own estimation, you're like 1 for 4, is what you're saying?
Yeah, 1 for 4.
Okay.
For me. Yeah, for my account, 1 for 4. Yeah.
All right.
And this record is going to be even. I like it even more because it's a little bit more metal.
It is. There's a little thrash
I kind of want to. Yeah,
it is.
I want to do a metal record. I was like, yeah, let's fucking do a metal record.
It is.
Because I fucking love metal. I love playing metal.
It's a little. It is. It's a little. It's got a little bit. Here you can hear the metal. It's in there.
Yeah, I fucking love that. So that is like the basic. That's, how does it sound when queer people play metal? Like fucking weird, but also the same way as it sounds when other people are playing metal.
Probably metal. I mean,
probably sounds like metal. Yeah.
I guess it probably sounds like metal if I had to.
I wanted to make metal that is kind of queer coded. That is like, well, these songs are for you because just because you are trans or you came out as gay or lesbian or whatever doesn't mean that you stop liking metal. But there are actually quite few metal bands that are, coded queer.
It's true.
Or like with queer people in them that are open. And that is one thing I wanted to do. I wanted to make like songs that I would look at the song title and I would be like, yeah, this is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like listen to still it's quite introspective and like I do think it's great songs. I love the songs. They're like good written. I think queer people deserve to have quality metal too. Not just the beer bro metal.
No. It's look, nobody needs the beer bro metal. Let's just establish that.
That was like one of the most disappointing things I saw in recent years was Brent Hines using the F word in an interview. That was like one of the most disappointing things I've ever
Really?
seen.
You
Yeah,
that
I
it could,
fucking love Mastodon. But I know he's a knucklehead or whatever.
yeah, yeah.
I love
It's
Mastodon, but that just got me so disappointed.
that is unfortunate. He,
Yeah,
fucking metal, man. Like
yeah.
all that shit,
Unfortunately,
all that shit from like 1986 that just never stopped for some
yeah,
dudes. It's
yeah.
yeah, yeah, man.
Because like I love Mastodon. They were like one of my absolute like top three bands or whatever. Mastodon, fucking love them. I that hurt me a lot.
Yeah, it's unfair.
Kind of is.
No,
Like I know he is like the stoner dude who like lits it up and just lets it go.
right.
Come on, then that word should not be in your vocab. It should
No,
not be.
no, it's fucking no. You don't need that shit.
No, you don't.
You don't. It doesn't help. Helps nothing.
No.
Helps
So
nothing.
like that's kind of what I meant by I want to bring something to the table to people that kind of like that music and like our music maybe before and say we're kind of cool people. We don't do that shit. We're with it. We're the hit.
With it. At the same time,
No.
at the same time, you're speaking from your experience, right?
Yeah,
You
very much so.
I feel like we kind of hinted at this before, but do you feel pressure, now as an out trans artist in this, in this band who has an established presence in sort of an international sphere? Obviously it's not huge, but it is fucking everywhere,
Yeah.
is this thing. Do you feel like you need to sort of speak for a group? Do you need to speak as a trans artist, or do you how do
I
you
don't
balance that
feel
with just being you?
I don't feel any pressure at all, but I
That's
want to
good.
say, hey, I'm here.
Right.
Like maybe someone else will also feel encouraged to take their space if they see there is this one person, you know, because this is important to me. I do this because I want to be seen, not because I'm some sort of diva. I am very much not. I am very down to earth, but I want to make people I don't want to make people uncomfortable, but certain people would see me and get uncomfortable. And those people I want to make uncomfortable. Like this is now in your space. This is now in your scene. Deal with it or,
Leave.
yeah, for me at least.
Yeah.
Like I don't care. Like if you are this old dude, this what do you say in
Yeah.
American? Curmudgeon.
I do say
This
that. Yeah. That is what we say.
yeah.
Yes.
And you see me on your Facebook or Instagram feed or Twitter or whatever, and you feel like you should write me like fuck this progressive shit or whatever.
Does that
Good
happen?
riddance.
Does that
Yeah,
happen?
it has happened. We
Come
do
on.
get the occasional
Fuck this
la-
progressive shit.
we do get the occasional laughing emoji on like our pictures and stuff, which is like I don't think it's a misclick. I do think it's more like passive aggressive, you
Yeah.
know, fuck you,
Shitty.
like whatever.
Yeah.
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 Like you can't just leave. You're not required here. Like
Easy
I
block,
don't
right? I mean,
it is, yeah.
yeah.
For them at least. If you don't like it, you can just go someplace else where your bro metal things are appreciated.
Right. Yeah. I I gotta tell you,
So I think I don't feel pressured. I like taking up the space I take up. I think it's important. That's why I want to do it. Hopefully I can inspire someone. If I don't, well, maybe I annoyed someone. Maybe I annoyed some curmudgeon.
mm-hmm.
And
That
that's
also has
everything to
value.
me.
Yes, also has value.
That's immense value.
Truly does. Yes.
Or like maybe I've had this happen to me where like old men come up to me at our shows And this is probably one of the most touching things that have ever happened to me. They say like, yeah, my daughter is trans, and it's so cool to see a trans person taking up space. Like that touches me beyond. I don't even know how to feel. Like maybe it puts the thing into context for them as parents. Like they've never seen this. They're older.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
exactly.
I can speak to you from that experience 100%. You know, we're very fortunate. Our family is pretty, you know, everybody's open. Everybody who was a shithead died in my family, which was mostly like my father and my wife's father, and they both kicked off, and we were like, fucking sweet. It's 100% true.
Yeah.
But you know, my family's pretty open, and everybody. It's been wonderful to see around my daughter how everybody has sort of. My mother will not stop buying dresses. She can't stop.
Yeah.
She can't. She's
Yeah.
in it. She's been waiting. She's like, oh, it's what granddaughter. And off she goes.
Yeah.
She's like, she buys so much. And it's nice. It's nice. I mean, I put her to school in a dress. You know, I sent her to school this morning in a
Yeah.
dress her grandma gave her, but it's hilarious. But I mean, you know, but for me doing that, but for me seeing, you know, going through that process this summer, I'm not gonna lie to you, seeing you out there kicking ass helped me. So thank you for that. Like I'm not, you know, and obviously it's not even my experience, it's her experience. But like
Yeah.
that kid likes rock and roll. You know,
Yeah. Like
5 years old, and
that.
we have rock and roll parties, and you know, it's a whole thing. So to see you out there, you know, happy, fucking happy. All I want in the world is
Yeah.
be happy. It's
That
just
means a lot because I want to
thank you.
be, not only do I want to speak to the like the first person, like the trans people, but I also want to speak to their close family or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it sucks having your entire like news outlet shitting on trans people. It's kind of cool to see just someone being happy also. Like, yeah, this could be my cousin or my daughter or my son or whatever. Like having fun, living life.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yes. Um, Words of advice for anyone who's in it right now.
Oh my God. Um, Take it slow, take care of yourself, do what you need to do. If you can't speak to if you were like me and I could not speak to my father about this for like half a year because I was so scared he might react badly, do that. Take your time with it. It's your decision to let people in on this. A friend of mine who is transgender said probably the best thing I've heard about this, and I want to share it with anyone else. It's not, it doesn't have to be a coming out. It could also be a letting in, let people in on this, on your close feeling and your close. This is a very touchy subject for a lot of people. You don't always want to come out like, yay, here I am, because you might not have the network for that. It might be more wise and better to come in. Let me talk to you for a while. Let me share these feelings that I have. There are so many things you could say. Everything is so individual, but that is like what came to me just now.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to stop the recording. We'll leave it
Yeah.
right there. Simona, thank you so much.
No, thank you.
I should say something about
honestly.
I should say something about the EP here to like plug it or some shit, but I'll type it. It'll be fine. So hang on just a second.
Yeah.
All right.